All right, going back to that topic today on the African Guides for Kids show.
This is the African Guide for Kids show by QV.
Yes, by QV. Today we'll be talking about claim it before they take it. Come on guys, I mentioned before, sometimes you go through a lot, as humans we go through a lot. Sometimes you be like, oh my god, who am I? And then with time, if you dwell on that being pitiful to yourself, you end up losing your dignity. You end up losing your purpose in this life. And guess what? Someone who is smarter, or somebody who is more cornier, or somebody who is more mischievous will come, realize your star, and then take it and then put it as if it's your own. Today's topic, claiming it before they take it, is what we're talking about. Guys, we've had us as Africans having this pretty skin, having these pretty bodies, having these pretty lips, having these pretty smiles, having these pretty teeth, having these pretty minds. And guess what? The person who came and realized what you have, the potential, what did they do? They came and tried to take it. So what are we going to do? What are we doing today as Africans to make sure that they don't claim it? What are we doing as Africans, indigenous, to make sure that we have it, maintain it before they claim it? And for that, I'm joined by one young person who is going to have this topic with me. And he's going to also as well share his mind with me on how he thinks about this topic on today with claim it before they take it. Young man, habari yako?
Zuri.
Unaendelea aje?
Poa.
Oh, that's nice. For those who are asking, that is Swahili. That is actually Swahili is spoken by more than 200 million people in Africa. Yes, it's spoken more than 200 million people in Africa, and one of the main countries that really speak like Swahili, it's Kenya, and that is where the young man come from, and he's going to want to tell us more about himself or what he understands by today's topic. Niambie.
So what I understand by claim it or before they take it, I understand that that African people were that they were shy before. Yeah, they were shy because of the white men, because they were making them feel insecure of themselves, because they were saying they have like Brazilian hips, Russian lips or something like that.
No. Actually, let me correct you on that. But we came to realize why I'm going to correct you on that is because before they used to say, you have such a big back, you belong to the back. They would say, that back is so big, you belong to the back, whereby there will be the women who had big hips or big behinds. They were told to go and carry heavy loads. You see, so it was taken as a disadvantage. It was given like, you are not, if you don't even belong to human beings, because when you go to Africa, we see that the donkeys or those big strong animals are the ones who carry luggages for human beings. Now you being put behind and told you have a big bag, so you have to go behind and carry heavy stuff or carry the children of your masters, which most when I say they used to tell, those are the slave people when they came and sold the Africans in Africa, and they went and sold them, or they put them as slaves or put them in slavery. They treated them so bad, like animals. Basically, they treated them so badly, like animals, such that if you had like back by big behinds, they will tell you, you go behind, go and carry those loads, you know. And then that was Africans. But what we came to find out is that, or maybe they will tell you, oh, you have such big lips, you don't want to, you look like a monkey, go behind. Oh, you have very white teeth, you don't need light in the smile in the darkness. They will tell them to smile so that they can be seen, you know. Like, they used it to make them feel less of people. They used it before to make them people, less of people. That was actually actively done way back. Today, guys, ladies and gentlemen, it's done passively. You know, the other day I was actually watching some students graduating. I don't know if you guys have seen it. The students were graduating, and then they would not let the young colored people to finish saying their names. You know, like if you're called, you know, those long names. Africans, we got these beautiful long names because we have a sense of belonging. Every name has its own belonging. My name has a meaning. Your name as an African indigenous has a meaning, and that's why it's always important for us to be mentioned by our names. It gives us a belongings. It gives us somewhere, you know. And when you don't mention somebody's name, it's quite rude, you know. Or if you don't let that person finish their names. And we saw on those graduation that a lady or two ladies were not let to say their names during their graduation. Every time they would say their name, this white person who was actually standing with the microphone would take the microphone away from them just because they say your name, you know, like passively trying to suppress and oppress the colored people. Now you can imagine that was done openly. What about the things that are done in the dark, guys? Are you trying to imagine? Anyway, today that is a not topic. However, it has something to do with it, because if that girl did not go back and claimed her name, somebody else would have come and taken it and said that is their name. You know, she had to say, as a queen that she is, I am who I am. Yeah, and you have to listen to me because today is about me. That was quite a very strong sentence where she said, today is about me. This and this, me, this is this and this and this is my name. You know? So it's always good to claim before they take it. Now, like the young man was trying to say, or you were saying, about having the Brazilian hips and lips. No, Brazilian hips. Those were ours, but they made sure that we feel so bad about ourselves that we can never even claim it. We are not feeling comfortable claiming our behinds, our beautiful behinds. We were not comfortable claiming our beautiful, you know, like for the ladies, we all have, we all have breasts, and you can attest. I don't know, for those who watched the history, is that the black ladies were always told, or the slaves who are from Africa were always told to feed the white children. You know, so for them, they were told to give birth to their own children, and then their own children would be taken away and fed to the crocodiles, and then they would take the white persons, or the white person who owned slaves who came from Africa, and then they would give birth, and you would give those ladies to feed their children, since their wife were not in a position to feed their babies with the breast milk. They made us feel bad about having breasts. They made us feel bad about having being in a position, being in a position to feed our children. They made us feel bad about ourselves. They made us not to be able to claim that for ourselves. And guess what? Right now, I found out, like, most of the white people right now, they are doing their enlargements. They are doing all this. What do we call? Putting of silicons and all those kind of things, breast enlargements or lips enlargement, and then they would call them Russian lips or Russian breast. Like seriously, mensch.
Only underground radio station.
This is Radio RF. This is all the hits. Yeah. All of Afromusic.
I don't know what it is. I can't tell you what it is. But you got me going crazy. Just you is so amazing. How long can you go, baby? At last to my body so crazy. Baby, I'm talking crazy. I need you right in my space, but I need it, baby. I'm late, but I still check in with you. I know that I need my friend, but I wouldn't wanna leave. You know I wouldn't wanna bleed. In my heart, my mind, and my body.
Yes, with today's topic, claim it before they take it, here on African Guides for Kids show.
This is the African Guide for Kids show by QV.
Yes, by QV, your one and only Queen Victoria, today on being the 24th of June with African Guides for Kids show. By saying claim it before they take it, we found out about how many things what they have taken it. If you guys have been listening for the past times, we saw that a lot of white people really took our crowns. Our crowns, when I say our crowns, they took all the things that the black people in the past invented, and they said it to be themselves. If they were not in a position to fake it, to fake it, to fanya mfananisho, what is it called, like to have fakes, if they were not in a position to fake it, what they did was to make sure that black person was never found out, or people did not find. They made sure that person was not noticed by the world. Why? Because they always wanted to keep the fact that Africans are stupid. Africans, they cannot be able to do nothing. Africans are not in a position to even make a decision for themselves. We found out the other day, for those who have been following news, you just noticed a member of parliament in Romania said openly that Africans are not in a position, they are not even in the situation, in a lage, that is in German. In Africa, in English, they say they are not even in a position to even make peace with themselves. They are not, they make sure that we look like animals. Animals are the ones who cannot, even animals are actually good. They make sure make sure to portray us as people who cannot even come together doing anything. They make sure that we are seen as people who can never come up, join up and do something, something sensible. That's how rude these people are. I wouldn't say it's all of them. I mean, for those people who are living in Germany, we have realized at workplaces how many people they come and ignore, and they'd rather come and look for someone who cannot help them just because of the skin color, because they have believed that African people cannot ever be smart. They believe that they cannot be even in a position to read. Hey, hawa watu wewe wacha nikwambie. Jesus. So for the young man, tell them, what would you like them to claim today before the people who steal take it?
What I would prefer them to claim, um, I would like them to claim their voices, their beautiful voices. I want them to feel free to talk out their minds. I want them to feel free and comfortable to express their mind, express themselves. I don't want them to always overthink about if they're good enough. I just want them to feel free about themselves.
Wow.
Yeah.
For those who are asking, in case any white person is out there, just want to, maybe they want to say, that cannot be an African. No, that is an African child, I beg. Eh? Don't start claiming it. I beg, I beg, I beg, I beg. I'm feeling vibes and vibes today, because really enough is enough of people taking people's crowns and just claiming it. Like I said before, it has been continuing for over 500 years. Enough is enough. I find it so disrespectful. The other day, there was this conference going on in Nairobi, Kenya, on Africa, on this part of Africa. There was this situation that happened that, on the conference room, there was this building, okay? I just want you to imagine with me. So there were all these big people, representative of African countries, representative of European countries, and they had all gone to Africa, in Nairobi being specific, this year in 2023. They had gone to have this meeting, conferences, and happened to be one of these prime ministers from Romania, all over those countries anyway. That's a topic for another day. This guy was standing there, and then just jumps a monkey on top of the roof, which happened to be a glass roof. For those who have been asking if we have buildings in Africa, yes, we have buildings made of glasses, made of stones. Actually, we have more beautiful houses and more farmer houses than those of in Europe or America, however you call it. We have very farmer houses. Anyway, back to the topic. Came a monkey on top of the roof, and guess what this person had the audacity to say? Oh, one of your families, one of the Africans have come to join us in our meeting. And everybody was like, oh, wait, what? This is a person on top of the roof. And guess what they went and found out? It was a monkey. Like, how racist can one be? If not that, Jesus. Seriously, that is what I'm talking about. They did it actively, and they're still trying. Can you imagine? That was a person who was talking in front of people who are learned, Africans, leaders who are learned, and that was not enough. When he went back home, of course, the Africans, at least they have had enough. Thank you so much for those who are actually coming up and saying this is enough, we've had enough, and then they came up, they had to send him back home, and then the guy went back there, and then the presidents of some countries in Africa, they came again for the conferences, again in Romania. Guess what this person said before, just like I said before, that we Africans or African leaders are not even in a position to keep peace or to make something. To make some, we are not in a position to even think straight. How rude can one be? But you got me going crazy. This is you, it's so amazing. How long can you go, baby? At last, till my body's so crazy. And that's why I'm saying today we have to claim it before they take it. These crowns, if we don't, just like any cup right now you have in the house, if you don't claim it, by claiming it, it means taking care of that cup. I'm going to use the most smallest thing, object you have in a house, even for those who have family. Right now, if you don't claim it, if you don't claim the belonging where you belong, trust me, somebody else is going to take that position, and it will be so difficult to take it back. We have seen as African people, it's taking ages for us. We are really progressing. I would say Africans right now, especially with the Z gen and the Y generation, the millennial, we are really the millennials, and also the late Y generation, that is the 1985 born kids to right now. We are trying on this. We are really putting our efforts on this. I really want to thank each and every person. Not only that, I just want to take this opportunity to just thank our president. Yes, our president back in Kenya, President Ruto. This dude is really working. Most of the Kenyans who are in Kenya, they are not seeing it. Well, social media, they quite playing a very big role for making sure that people don't see it. For the bad ones, not all social media platforms. I mean, not Radio RFM. Yes, we just want to take this opportunity to thank our President Ruto for what he's doing. Just the other day he was saying how all the time they have to go for the conferences, they've never had time. They're always given maybe 30 seconds to take their mind out. Surely, what do you expect a whole leader to talk in 30 seconds? And if you miss those 30 seconds, Africans, we just love to give we love to acknowledge the presence of each and everyone. By the time you acknowledge them, the 30 seconds are gone. So what do you come out? I'm going to put it like the way Ruto said, that you just come out with beautiful pictures, not anything more. For that, right now I can see he's really fighting for our country, not if not continent. He's really fighting. He's becoming that leader that we always wished for. He's becoming a very good representative out here. For that, I just want to thank him for that. And I hope that Kenyans, one day we are going to notice that, and we're going to hold each other's hands and support him in whatever he's doing right now. However, back to our topic, if you don't take care of your cup at home, the rats, the dirt, the crusts, those dirt is going to come and have it and take it, and then it will be so hard to clean that cup again. For you, it will be so disgusting to drink it. Let's claim it. We've been having, I'm going to make a very, 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 let me make another example whereby we have seen a lot of kids who are trying to come up. They are making their hair the way it was supposed to be from beginning on for the Africans, until the white person came and named it dreadlocks. That means something which is dready, something which is scary. We have seen a lot of kids nowadays, they are making their dreadlocks. And guess who are the first people to pull them down? It's our fellow Africans, trying to tell them, oh, you're not supposed to dress this way. Don't put your hair like that. You'll not be taken seriously. Yet we can never be more serious here than how when we put our locks on our hair. I'm really proud for every parent that really takes the opportunity or takes the guts to put their locks on their hair, because people don't know how much of the deep meaning it has. Those who are what do we call, those who are traditions, if you go and know the meaning of that, remember, come on, let's go to the Bible. If people, let's go with that thing that we were cheated on with, or we were lied on because a white person came and lied us with the Bible. Let's look about Solomon. Solomon got the longest hair ever. He had the longest hair. By then they did not have combs. So what did they have? They had their locks on. He had his locks on, and that is where his strength was. You see how powerful the locks are? Why would you put a young person down if they put their locks, or you don't want them to have locks on their hair. Why? Why? Yet we know it has a very, very deep meaning. Okay? So whenever you just claim it, because if you don't do it, these white people, I've seen a lot of people who are not, let me not say not only white people, there are a lot of people out there from Europe, from China, from America, whatever. The other race, let me put it like that, the other race will come and take that hairstyle and say it's theirs. Okay, they say, oh, we are the one who invented it. You know, the other day I was reading, there were people actually having that debate. Where did locks come from? And some of them, they say that it comes from Europe. Can you imagine? Can you imagine the audacity of somebody saying that locks comes from Europe? It comes from Africa. And then I've seen a lot of, white girls right now. Living here in Germany, I've seen a lot of imitations. We all have these Africans. We have the beads on our waist for the ladies. We have the beads on the legs. We have beads on our necks. We have these beautiful eardrops or earrings that we wear traditionally. And I've seen a lot of ladies which are not of black races taking all of that and saying it's theirs. It's saying, oh, this is the meaning of it, yet they have no idea. Because really, I just want to, I go asking people. It's not because I want to put anyone down. I just want to understand. Maybe, there are people who come and integrate themselves with the Africans, and, they just want to do what Africans do. And they come up and they come and, they take it. They take it and they say, this one is mine, it means this and this. Africans got deeper meanings. Where anyway, so what we just have to come claim it before they take it. I'm going to read on a comment that I'm getting here. Just a minute.
Tell me why you're crying, how can it be you? When you gave me something.
Thank you so much, Mr. John Ganga, for joining. I'm going to read what he writes. It is like the white photojournalist from South Africa who took photo of a hunger-stricken child, and next to the child, a vulture was waiting for the child to die. On an interview by another journalist, he was asked what he did. He said he doesn't know what happened to the child, yes. The journalist said, according to him, there were two vultures. Exactly. Actually, that one I can remember. It was a person who called the phone on that particular interview. And the person said on the phone that the journalist said, according to him, there were two vultures. According to the person who called, he said there were two vultures. One was one which was holding the camera and another waiting to feast on the child. It's true, the white journalist who took the picture of that child with a vulture, he died later due to depression because of that photo. Is it not sad? Really, I remember that picture. It was quite a controversial one. People really, the people really went praising. By the way, that guy became very, very famous because of that picture because of taking that picture of that that small child, beside. It was let me put it, let me say how it was. It was a small child who was looked like very malnutrition, and she was just bending there, maybe due to hunger. And then behind the child was a vulture, which definitely vulture, they always eat carcass. Carcass are dead animals, dead human beings. And according to our understanding, or the people who were watching, is that the vulture was waiting for the child to die so that it can feed on that child. So this white journalist came and took the picture of that, that scenario at that particular moment. And he became very famous. You know, when you become very famous, of course, there'll be interviews here and there, on and on. And at that particular day, just like Mr. John Nganga mentioned, is that he was asked, where did that child go? Of course, he did not care, because at that particular day, he had a flight to catch after having that interview, after making that picture. So for him, he just took the picture, posted it, and he left for the country. And he was asked, what did you do for that child not to be eaten by the vulture? And he said very arrogantly, I don't know. I just left. That was his remark. You know, so I really don't care. I really don't know. You know, like I said, very arrogantly. And the person on the phone, when they called, you know, during the interview, you know, he asked what he did or about the picture, and he said he didn't know what happened to the child and all that. He said there were two vultures on the phone. He said there were two vultures on that picture. It was the vulture which was taking a photo, and the vulture who was taking a picture of the vulture and a child. And that thing drove that person to depression. Why? Because why would you be so animal? You know, the thing is, this is what I'm talking about. He wanted to prove how much of Africa we are poor. You know, they did not go and take pictures of the great places that we have, of the green sides, of all those beautiful trees. Come on, Africa is beautiful. Why do even people only take time to go and fly to Africa? It's because Africa is beautiful. Even if they would go and say, oh, Africa, the people are dying of hunger, it's not true. Because, and if it's true, of course, we all have those places where people are dying of hunger. Even in Europe, come on, guys. How many people have we seen lying on the streets, but they never make pictures of those people dying on the streets? How many? So, guys, ladies and gentlemen, king and queens, it's high time for us to claim before they take. That was quite a remembrance. Thank you so much, Mr. John Nganga. And on the other side is that I just want to remind you, just like the young man said, don't be shy. Don't be shy about who you are. Just go and say it loud. I'm black and I'm proud. And that we'll be teaching you more on this on the African Guides for Kids show. Make sure to join us every Saturday. Yes, the same time, same day. For more of this, we're going to continue on this with the claim before they take it. Just make sure to join us on our next episode. This is Radio RFM, home of African music. Remember, you can get us on our social media platforms. That is on Instagram, Radio R 99.2 FM, on Facebook, Radio R, on YouTube, Radio RFM. Make sure to just put it, home of African music. On TikTok, yes, we are on Radio RFM, and on Twitter, yes, we are also on Twitter with Radio RFM, home of African music. And not only that, we have our website where you can get us one-on-one. You can get on more updates of what is happening us within the family of Radio RFM, as well as internationally and nationally. That is on our website, www.cradior.com. This is Radio RFM with yours, Queen Victoria, home of African music.